We are now recording, so don't say anything you don't want recorded. Welcome to Design Time. We have a couple of guests today here on our Design Time. This is Chris with CETIS, who just joined us in May, full time, but has been a student worker for us for about a year and a half before that, and has been a terrific addition to our team. And then joining us also today is Joey Lyons from UCIT Instructional Support. I guess, are you at the center, Joey? Or?
Yeah, it's the Center for It's technically Learning Technology Support is our department.
Right. So we asked him to join us today because CaptureSpace is different enough that we wanted to make sure that we got you the best expertise, and that right now is not us. So we're still kind of learning CaptureSpace ourselves. So we'll go ahead and get started. It is a little longer session today. We've planned an hour instead of a half an hour because CaptureSpace is so robust and there's enough to look at here that we felt like we needed about an hour. But we'll actually try to keep it to 40 minutes or so if we can, and then there'll be time for questions. And if you have questions along the way, Deborah, absolutely don't hesitate to chime in and ask. Some folks may come in and join us a little later on, or whatever. But we'll go ahead and get started. So we wanted to start with how do you get to Kaltura CaptureSpace. So Chris, if you want to jump over to it. So you should be looking at a Blackboard site here. Is this one we're going to work in?
Actually, let's go to Canopy. I'd like to, when you log into Blackboard, either below the login or once you're logged on, you can always go to Canopy. And Canopy is going to give you direct access to all the new tools that are out there. And I don't know if you saw what Chris did just there, but he clicked on Kaltura, the little icon, down here under Canopy Tools. And so that's where you can go if you just at the last minute forgot where you need to go to do what. Just always remember Canopy, and then you'll have access. Again, also WebEx. A lot of people have been asking how do I get to my WebEx account? We're not going over WebEx today, but again, this is where that direct link will always be. It won't move. So if you bookmark it and lose it or can't find it or can't remember, just go to Canopy and it will be right there. And so what Chris will do now is he'll go into Kaltura, and you can see here if you scroll down, this is a lot of the knowledge-based articles, which are step-by-step guides on getting started that UCIT has put together for everybody. And these are a great place to start, but we wanted to actually walk you through it today so you saw the process. So the first place to really get started is obviously getting started with Kaltura, the very first link. And Joey, Chris, and Carolyn, please stop me and correct me if I ever say anything wrong. But CaptureSpace now can be downloaded to your computer, and you can save it. What we have been doing, which has been nice, is saving it on our taskbar. You can throw it onto your desktop. You can just make it really easy and accessible, so anytime you are ready to record, you can just click on CaptureSpace and it'll launch it. You don't have to be inside Blackboard to launch your CaptureSpace and your get your lectures going.
That is true. The one thing I would say about it is that if you share your computer and someone else opens up CaptureSpace, it'll be attached to the account that it was most recently launched through Blackboard with. And so it is possible that someone might then put videos into a different person's My Media area. That'd be a rare occurrence, but I tend to use it by launching it through Blackboard only because that way it's updating that connection just in case. But yes, you should be able to open it from the desktop. That'd be fine.
That's good to know because we've had some problems. We have a hierarchies account.
Right.
I downloaded it while I was logged. It was pointing to my hierarchies account instead of to my 6+2.
Correct.
Yeah.
Just something to think about.
Yeah, and this is the difference between if you used Kaltura before, it just launched as it wasn't a program that you downloaded. It just launched as a Java application. That sounds European. Java application on your screen, and then went away when you closed it. Now you download CaptureSpace with an actual application that lives on your machine. So the first thing you do would be to download, and we'll just show you that screen. And these are the instructions, so they're pretty straightforward.
You actually have to go to my media.
Oh, right, yeah, you're right. Okay, so these are Is there a link to the download here? I thought there was.
It's just telling you to go to straight My Media.
Yeah, that's where they'll ask you to download it, because that should get you the most up-to-date one.
So My Media, hi Becky. My Media lives under My UC. It actually lives in lots of places, but that's one of the places you can get to it. So now what Chris is doing is he's going to launch CaptureSpace, and because he's already downloaded it, it's taking him to the application to launch the application. If he had not downloaded it yet, it would take him to a page that gave him the download for both PC, for Windows, or for Mac. Once it's launched, this is what you get. This is the application, this little screen here with the 5 panels. That's CaptureSpace. So that's the application that's running. Okay. So one thing you can do, and you're not sharing your taskbar window, but one thing you can do is you can pin this to your taskbar. So if you're running a Windows machine, you can actually stick it down there where the the little tiles are that live for the applications you use most. You can pin it to your desktop. You can or just leave it in your programs folder in your start menu. I'm not a Mac person. You can use Joey. Are you a Mac person?
Yeah, when we're looking at my screen, it'll be on the Mac. It's basically the exact same.
Same thing, right? Okay, so this takes us into the next thing we're going to talk about was settings. We're actually going to let Joey kind of take over here because we're a little shaky yet on the settings and stuff. So Joey, let's pass him the ball. So let's quit sharing. Stop sharing things.
You need something over there, right?
Yeah. Oh, can you do that? Let me look at you. Okay, so Joey, you should have the ball.
Yep.
Hi, Becky. I just wanted to test that you can hear us now.
I can hear you now. I had to call you on my cell phone. Obviously, I don't really know what I'm doing, but
okay.
Okay, but you can hear us. That's good. Can you see this? Are you watching on the screen as well?
What?
Are you watching on the screen as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Great.
And then if I could just say real quick, if you wouldn't mind muting while we're not talking, that way we don't pick up extra background noise. That is always just kind of helpful in the web conferencing world. That would be great.
I should be muted now.
Are you guys? I've got 2 screens. Are you all seeing both of them or just one of them?
We're seeing one. It's got Canopy and CaptureSpace on it.
Good, perfect. I just wanted to make sure. So this is on the Mac instead of on the PC, but it's basically the same sort of stuff. Kaltura will show up if you're using a Mac, it's going to show up in your applications. So I've got the link to it here, and you can just launch it. And if you want to, you can put it in your dock, so it'll always be there, just like putting it in the taskbar. The first thing, we'll go over some of the settings. But before I do that, I do want to point out, as I was saying before, when you first download Kaltura, it's automatically assigned, like it's connected to the account that you're downloading it through. And so you can check to see which account it is currently going to upload to by clicking on Help, and under User, it's going to say. So normally, this is my sysadmin account, but normally you'd see your 6+2 there, and that's how you'd know which one it's connected to. If you wanted to change what it's connected to, I would quit Kaltura, go into Canopy, log in as the user that you want to be uploading to, and then launch Kaltura through that My Media page. Just do it again, and then it would update to whichever one you need to be in. But that's just a good point to check. If you're not seeing videos show up or something like that, that could be why. But let's go through some of the settings here. When you click on the Settings tab in Kaltura, you're going to see the folder on your computer where your local storage is. It automatically sets that up when you first download Kaltura. It's not something you want to mess with because we've actually seen a lot of errors. If you change that and then try to get something uploaded, it will look for that folder, that original folder. It won't be able to find it, and then you won't be able to get anything uploaded. But down here you can change which camera you want to use. I've got 2 of them, so you can switch between. You can choose which audio you'd like to be pulling from, so you can make sure all that's set up correctly. And then you can change recording quality too. That's going to change, of course, the size of whatever you're uploading. So I've got it set to the larger sizes. Remember that anything Kaltura is going to put up on the internet needs to be at 1.97 gigs or less, so just watch out for that. And you can choose to delete stuff on your computer once it's been uploaded if you don't want to store it there, but Kaltura does natively save an actual file to whatever local file storage you have. So if it stays there, you'd have it, you could put it into a different editor if you wanted to mess with it or something like that. So
just real quick, if somebody
sure.
is typing, if everybody could mute except Joey, that would be great because it's coming through really loud on our end.
Okay.
Or Joey, I think you could actually, as presenter, mute everybody
That's
also, in case they can't find where that button is.
Yeah, let me. Although right now I've got my stuff hidden because I'm in. Oh well, it seems to be gone for now, so let's hope. All right, so let me get back to the Word thing here.
So basically what happens when the people go in, they will,
okay, so when you change your settings, you do need to save them. Just make sure you click that, because if you go away from that tab, they're gonna disappear. And when you click save, it'll give you a little message that says you've saved your settings. Now let's go and look at all the different options you have for recording. Of course, the biggest, nicest block that we have here is this presentations and lectures option. At this point in time, I've gotten it to work, but we recommend that people don't use it because there are so many things that seem to affect whether it actually does work. There's a lot of it not being able to accept certain types of PowerPoint files, not working with certain versions of Office, even when it should. So we're actually working with, we have an active dialogue with Kaltura right now, trying to make sure that that gets addressed when we get an update. So be on the lookout for when we say it works, because it's a great tool. It does allow you to sort of do a prettier version of, you know, having your face on the screen as a lecturer, as an instructor, as a professor, and then having whatever presentation you want to put up there. But right now, you can do basically the same thing by using the screen recorder or the screen and webcam recorder.
Just real quick, Joey,
Sure.
and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but
No,
I know we have an active ticket, an active dialogue going on with Kaltura. And you just said you're hoping that it gets corrected with an update. Is there any idea, any word on when an update might be coming?
Unfortunately, not at this time. You know, yeah, that's basically the best. It's a non-answer, but that's the best I can do.
No, I
right
understand.
now.
I know how those things go.
But we will, you know, once we know when that's coming, and we have good enough information to say that it looks like something's going to be fixed, so that's something that we would definitely get out through the college channels and make sure people are on the lookout for, because we know it's, you know, it's not, this is not ideal, and we want people to be able to use the tool the way it's intended. But yeah, you have the 5 options, or 4 if you discount presentations and lecture. They're all there, you know, pretty self-explanatory. The voice is just if you wanted to do an audio recording. You can record a webcam if you just wanted to have yourself be visible to your students, or for a training or something like that. Screen and webcam lets you do what I'm doing right now and show yourself and whatever you want to see on the screen. And then you can just do a screencast if you want to. So let's click on screen and webcam. So I've got 2 monitors. If you have more than 1 monitor, you'll be able to see all those options, and you can choose which screen you want to be recording from. And then you can also choose to just record the entire screen, or you can choose to select an area. Select an area is good if you're just going to be doing a PowerPoint presentation and that's all you want them to be able to see in addition to your face. And that way you could also, if you get an email notification that comes in, they wouldn't see that or something. I recommend turning off, like now I'm in do not disturb mode just so that we don't see a bunch of stuff showing up on my screen. So let's select an area on this display. So the first thing you're going to get is, and it just disappeared, of course, but you get to drag and select an area. Normally, there's a little thing down in the bottom that says Kaltura is asking you to select an area. So I'm just going to select my web browser screen here. And then you're going to get a countdown that says you're going to be starting the recording soon. And so here, this is the only portion of the screen that I'm recording. I don't know if you all can make it out since the resolution of WebEx is not always that great, but there's a little sort of purple-blue box around that area. Up in the top right of the screen is the picture of you. Now, when you actually put this up, you're going to see that image. I believe it's usually in the bottom right. In the player, there are some options to switch where it is for when the student is watching, but generally, it's going to be like this. And then down here in the bottom right, we have the controls. You can pause, you can say you're done, you can cancel. And you can actually annotate on this too. If you click on draw, you get a few options, and then you can sort of add boxes and things like that. So that if you wanted to draw people's attention to something, you could make an arrow, draw on it, however you want to do it. So that's an interesting feature. It's not incredibly robust, but it does allow you to do some cool stuff. So when you're done recording and you click on done, it's going to take you to another screen. And automatically it starts playing. This is sort of a very, very, very light editor. What you're going to be able to do in it is minimal, but it does allow you to say if you started your recording and you were trying to get your thoughts together, trying to get the right window up, you'd be able to trim that little bit out from the front. And there's a trim tool right here. And that brings up a couple of little options here on the left and right, and you can drag where you want to start your video from. So if you had, a minute in the beginning where you were just not really doing any lecture stuff, and then at the end you have yourself closing the windows and getting out of Kaltura, you can trim those off. And then any of those changes you make, you're going to have this apply button down here. If you click apply, it's going to take those into effect. You can also chop instead of trimming, and the chopping will just allow you to take a section somewhere in your video. So if you messed up and you backtracked and you just wanted to cut out a little bit of video where you said the wrong thing or you pointed someone in the wrong direction, you could chop that part out. You can also add title screens. And this is where the fact that this is a very limited video editor comes in. You're not going to be able to do anything super fancy. You can choose from a few different title slides. Some of them are nicer than others, and you can type whatever you wanted to put in there. So if we wanted to say this was Joey's video, and then put in the description, for Joey 101, which don't take that class, it won't be very interesting. But you could do that, and you can add a title to it. And what that does is just, it pops a title on the front of the video. You don't get a whole lot of control over it. And right now it's creating it. So that should have added it into the video. You also have the option for credits, which is just a title screen at the end that you can put stuff on. So that you don't get a whole lot of options there for what you could do. But they are nice. It's nice that they exist. If you have any sort of aptitude using, say, iMovie, even Camtasia, or if you actually have Adobe Premiere and you like to do stuff like that, you can do a lot of cool things. You could add in transitions. You could take the raw video file that Kaltura leaves on your desktop and put that in there. But this is nice because it's quick. You can put in that title screen so that when you see it, which video you're looking at. That's nice if you didn't put the right information in. But let's go ahead and click done so I can show you the next. Oops, selection is too short. Take it off. Okay.
Joey, I had one quick question. I have a quick question. Can you insert those?
Mm-hmm.
Does it only put the title slide at the beginning?
Correct. The title slide will go in at the beginning, and that credit slide is going to go in at the end.
Okay, so you can't like insert in the middle. Okay.
No. If you trim the video and then put a title or credits in, it will put it, you know, at the beginning or the end of where you've trimmed.
Right.
But you wouldn't be able to say, like, we're talking about chapter 1, and then talk about chapter 1 and then do chapter 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So once you've finished doing that, you're going to have this upload option. I do recommend that you fill all this out just because you're going to be able, in the future, you may be using things from multiple classes. You may want to know how long it's been since you did something on chapter 1, so you could know, did I do that with this edition of the book or a different one? So I recommend putting in a title, put in a little description, and do put in, if you want to use tags, you can. That can make it an easy way to sort of sort through what videos you have in My Media. So we'll just call this, you need to delete everything that's in there. Call Joey 101. And I'm just going to call it test video, and we'll put in test as a tag. So you can preview what you've done just to make sure that what you're uploading is the right thing. But once you click upload, it will start the process, and I'm getting an error, which is delightful. Let's see. It may be because I trimmed the entire video down when I was doing it. Normally what you're going to get there is just a little blue thing that says uploading. You'll get a progress bar, and then it'll go, it'll say it's finished, and it should be in your My Media. Now, the time it can take from when you click upload and you get that successful banner, it can actually be 15, 20, 30 minutes, because where it's uploading to is actually our entire Kaltura media space, and then it sends it out from there to your Blackboard account based on the credentials. So you don't see it immediately, because it's going to spit out a link that says, here's where you can find your video. If you click on that link and you don't actually see it right away, give it a little bit before you contact us for support, because oftentimes that can be the issue. Though, as you can see, my inability to upload something right now is a little troubling. I think that's because when I was creating the video, I actually trimmed the entire thing out of there, and there's nothing there. So it's still giving me this recording link thing. If something like that happens, this is a good time to go to our service desk, and this is the kind of stuff that'll come to me or Taylor in Learning Technology Support, and we can look at that for you. I think that covers all of the stuff that was in your agenda. Is there anything else you want me to touch on?
Joey, this is Dawn. I have a quick question. Something you just mentioned.
Sure.
You said it'll come to your desk, but do we, would we email UCIT Help Desk and they then send it to you? Okay. So as long as we get it to UCIT Help Desk, they then are in turn getting Kaltura, and I'm assuming like WebEx, some of these bigger tools that are unveiling to you guys, and you guys are doing that troubleshooting there? Okay.
Correct. Assuming, you know, if it's not like an immediately distinguishable issue, like someone hadn't downloaded Flash for something, that doesn't affect this, but then they'd be able to take care of that. But if it's something like it's not uploading when I click on upload, that will come to us and we'll address it. Okay.
Okay, great. Can we, and maybe we can take over at this point, Carolyn, it's up to you, but I think now that we've got stuff uploaded into media space, or My Media, if we can just go over just for, you know, if they've never used Kaltura before, how to get it actually physically in your class. So if we can open up a class and...
I'll go ahead and stop sharing. I can let, I'll give it back to the Allied Health account. Yeah.
Yeah, give it, yeah.
And
there
then,
we go.
And then Carolyn, if you and Chris can maybe open up a course and show the mashup tool and how you actually get it into your class once you've uploaded it and it's in My Media, I think that would be a good use of our time too, just to remind everybody on that.
Okay, so we're going to go into a course, and this part of it has remained pretty much the same in terms of how you access your media, how you put Kaltura media into a course. That process is the same. The big change is how you do lecture screencast and lecture capture. So Chris is going to open up his sandbox course so we can use that as an example. So yeah, Chris, if you just want to go to a module, there are a number of different ways to get to your My Media, to your Kaltura media. We showed you one. You can go to your My UC My Media, and that will take you to your My Media page, which is any video you've uploaded or recorded through Kaltura is going to be there. So, but there are other ways to get to it as well. So, for instance, your edit button's off. Your edit button's off. You can add a Kaltura media item. So if you go up to Build Content, you see here Kaltura media is under Mashups. So you can add it from here, or any place where you're using the text box editor, you can also add a mashup. So here you see, here's Chris's My Media again. So if you back out of here, let's go into module, let's just create an item. And just, yeah, build item. And
if you want it, maybe we should actually put it in the media section, since that's already there. It comes with your college template. All the modules are there. Sorry. So that they can see how you would simply just open up the content editor or the content item and get the text editor.
So Chris went into a module, and can you just back out and do that again? Just make sure it works out. So we're in a module, and so he's going to edit the media area right there, and that's going to open the text box editor for this item. And so here we are. So you see that mashup button? Now, if for some reason you don't see Kaltura media when you go to add a mashup, either from build content or from a text box editor, it could be that it's not turned on in your course. We've had that happen, and again, there doesn't seem to be a lot of rhyme or reason to it. So what Chris is doing now, you don't know that, do you? Customization. And this is a good thing to know anyway. If you ever can't find something in your Blackboard course that you think should be there, go to Customization Tool Availability and prepare to be overwhelmed, because the list is rather long. The list of tools that, I remember, I've been around here long enough, I remember when this list was like a page long. And now it's like, I don't know, pages and pages and pages. Yeah. So what we're looking for is Kaltura, and there it is. And so what you need to do is make sure that all these boxes are checked. So the ones on the left are checked by default, but the ones on the right, sometimes that mashup gets unchecked. I don't know why, but we've seen it happen. So if you can't find Kaltura media under your mashup or Kaltura as part of your mashup tools, that's probably why. And you'll need to go in and just turn it on, okay? So, okay, so now let's go back and edit our media button again. I'm just curious what made you decide to use module 2. The module 1.
I think I stuck in module 1.
Oh, okay. Just wondering. Doesn't matter. So, all right, so here we are in the text box editor, and now Chris is going to pull down his mashup, and he's going to choose Kaltura media. And what's going to open is My Media. So anything he's uploaded to My Media is here. However, he could from here add new. So go up there to add new. And if he had a video that he had recorded, let's say he did something on his phone or whatever, and he had a video that he created, and he just wants to upload it into Kaltura, he can do that by using Media Upload. Or he can launch CaptureSpace from here as well, and do, as Joey just demonstrated for us, record a lecture or record a screen capture, demonstrate something, whatever he wants to do. So, but in this case, let's just say that he's already got the media that he wants to include in this course, So he's just going to select one. Yeah, don't select the funny one. So yeah. And this is what it puts into the course. Now,
We didn't
you have
put
the cursor in a weird place, and that's why it put that there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to put it wherever your cursor is. So what Chris did is he had his cursor. Yeah, okay, good. Now you're talking.
Cursor down here.
Cursor down there. Yeah.
That'll
So you got to be careful about where you put your cursor, because if you do have like an image like we do in that text box editor, and you put your cursor in front of it, guess what? That's where your video is going to go, right in front of that cursor, or right in front of that image. So now, yeah, see, now this makes sense. And what it does is it puts a little table with an embedded thumbnail of your video into the text box editor, and it includes, you know, the name of the video and all this information here. And now if you click submit, now students and any user in the course can view this media. And if you don't remember this benefit of using Kaltura, the great thing about Kaltura is that you can view this media on any device. Because what Kaltura does is it detects the device that's accessing it and outputs it in what they call the flavor that's needed for that device to view it. So if you're on an Android phone, a Windows phone, an iPhone, an iPad, a Surface Pro, any Android tablet, Kindle Fire, whatever, you're on a PC, you're on a Mac, it doesn't matter, it will play. This is why we encourage you to use Kaltura, because it makes it so much easier for the users to view the content. And, you know, when we know that students like to view their content on their mobile devices, and this makes that possible without seamlessly, without you having to do anything special to make sure that the content's in the right format. And so now there's our media. Why don't you click on it just to show them what it looks like when it plays. And so it'll open up and access the media, and then it begins to play. Any questions about that? Chris, did I say anything, or Joey, did I say anything that you wanted to add to, or that you're thinking, oh my God, I can't believe she said that?
No, for the most part, you will be able to watch Kaltura videos on anything. It does depend occasionally on, this should work fine if you're just uploading that video and then placing it in the course. That should work. There are some other players that actually get utilized in Blackboard that are not HTML5 compliant, which don't work. And those tend to be when a whole bunch of lecture videos have been placed into a frame on the side of the video. And I was actually talking to Paul Foster about this a couple days ago. We're looking into making sure that whatever the default player we use in Blackboard is going to be accessible on any device. It isn't currently right now, but what you said is not wrong. So that should be totally fine.
Okay. All right. So that's pretty much what we wanted to show today. So, you know, we blocked out an hour. We weren't sure how long it would take to kind of get through all this, and we wanted to make sure we left lots of time for questions. So does anyone have any questions to ask before we finish up?
No.
I'm good. Jackie or Tina, any questions?
Hey, Carolyn, this is Tina Meager. I just came in after I got back just to see if you guys had any questions for me or anything like that.
Because our dean's name is Tina, and I thought, oh my God, our dean.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
I had no idea. Next time I put Meager so that you know exactly who I am.
Like, wow, Tina's here. Okay.
I should have turned on my camera. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just joking. It's good.
Excellent. Well, we have recorded this, and we will post this for all of our faculty who weren't able to come, and then for Deborah and Becky, if you want to review anything that we said, if we went too quickly, it will be up. I, again, want to extend a huge thank you to Joey and Tina, too, for stopping by and checking in on us. Really, really appreciate it. It's been very helpful. And for our faculty, continue to bring us questions. If we don't have the answer, we now know Joey and Tina, and we will find out the answer.
Oh no, what have we done?
Yeah, we've been contacted though, so.
Tina and I are becoming quite close. So.
Yes, we are. We are becoming quite close. That's true.
I don't know how Tina feels about it, but.
I'm fine. I'm fine with it. Yeah, I just want to make sure everything works. That's my main priority, so.
Well, we really appreciate your help. We really do.
No problem.
And this is really an important message, to bring us the questions, but we will ensure that we are assigning UCIT help desk tickets to all of these so that there's a tracking mechanism so that Joey and Tina have the information they need to bring back to Kaltura if something should come up that needs that level of help. So,
exactly. Perfect. Yes.
So we will commit to that, even if our folks email just us. We might be putting the tickets in, but we will ensure that there is a ticket for everything. So
that'll make things run smoother for us.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense, right? Yeah. Okay.
Great. Again, thank you, everybody, and
of course,
we'll let our college know when this is up and running, and thank you again.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.